Two world-renowned El Paso painters, over 90 pieces of their work, an amazing celebration of their arts for their hometown as El Paso emerges from the pandemic. As we speak with Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets on their new show at the El Paso International Museum of Art. I'm Duke Keith, and this is El Paso Townsquare. We are here with Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets, and we must say, world-famous artists based in El Paso. Aleksander had the honor of painting Laura Bush's portrait.
Yes, it's happened. It's a big honor, definitely. It's happened a couple of years ago, and definitely it's a big step in both our careers. And everything came from El Paso. Just why we stay in El Paso, because only good things came in from El Paso to us.
Well, that is tremendous, and it hangs in the Smithsonian. This portrait.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Do you have any other work in the Smithsonian, or
not yet?
Okay,
we're working with that.
And of course we're here because the Titovets have a new show opening at the El Paso Museum of Art. This is the El Paso International Museum of Art on Montana Boulevard, not the new one downtown. And that should be, I guess, pointed out. But you were here in El Paso when that was El Paso's Museum of Art.
That's right. And we were teaching there as well. That was our first place where we started teaching at the museum.
Oh, tremendous. So you teach at the museum?
In the basement, like a basement level like that. We taught 2-3 years, yes, something like that.
And amazingly, a few people from that first year of our life in America, they're still with us, and they're still taking some classes.
That is tremendous. And not only teachers, but obviously artists, both of you in your own right. And I want to talk about the show a little bit, but obviously, you know, your time in El Paso, celebrating pretty much 30 years in the Sun City from 1992 to now. And you decided to bring this show to the folks in El Paso. Why in particular?
Let's say start. Some our good friends our working name of the show was 29 and a half. But some friends told us it's better to show name anti-dat. Because right now this kind of this crisis with COVID-19 and something need to be curable. Some cure, except the vaccine. I think art will cure, pretty good cure for that too. And the show exactly have a purpose to show life it still exists. Life could be interesting.
Absolutely.
And it's definitely our first exposure after the COVID. And during these years, we did lots of new work besides fixing and repainting some old work. And museum space, of course, it's perfect for showing something like this and showing something on a big scale. And as far as El Paso being a wonderful place for us, we would like to share it with El Paso before we start putting work in the galleries like in Santa Fe or Carmel or Charleston, South Carolina. That's our first step, and definitely our big thank you to El Paso for all these 30 years.
Well, it's tremendous, and I got the opportunity to come and see it at the event where you kind of debuted it for the denizens of the International Art Gallery. It opens to the public, or it is open to the public now as we air this, and folks can go and see your perception of the borderland. I know that you have some work from St. Petersburg, which is where you both studied art and are from, and some of those pieces are in the gallery as well. But quite a bit of the desert Southwest, I think, and that's I think folks are going to be blown away when they come in and see this stuff, because first of all, there are a ton of pieces, and I know that both of you exhibiting is probably helpful in that regard, that there are so many pieces, but it fills 2 complete rooms of the gallery. And is a lot of this stuff that you did over the quarantine?
No. It's actually I think its oldest work, maybe 6 years old, and okay. And definitely when we make a decision to do the show in May, we painted a couple new pieces, definitely, but it's impossible to paint 95 works
95 pieces
it's
of art.
impossible, man. If somebody just put the gun to my head, maybe it's even never happened like that. But it's definitely, you said pretty good, yes, like it's definitely help us because we're both artists and we're both to support each other and interested in how we push into each other. And actually you can see in the gallery, it's almost like definitely we two different artists, but we have kind of the same philosophy and we say almost the same goal, how to achieve certain things what we want to show to the public.
Absolutely, and I know that there are quite a number of landscapes that is kind of your milieu, so to speak. Some portraits for you, but also landscapes, and just it seems like different ideas. When I see your perception of Cloudcroft, and there are so many different. Obviously, in any scene of Cloudcroft, you're not going to find 5 deer and this many hummingbirds and all in one view, but you have them all there. And that is...
And that's one of the idea for me. So there is piece about El Paso, there is piece about New York and Cloudcroft. And they all took many years to create because it's really a collection of some vivid memories from different years. And then at a certain point, I felt brave enough that, yes, now I could put it all together and create the painting. So it's exactly this. It's a result of many years of exploring the place. And it was important for me that I could show something like this because, again, I could definitely and proudly say probably nobody else seen it the way I see it.
True. Very true. And Lyuba, speaking with Lyuba Titovets and Aleksander Titovets in regards to their new show, which is open now to the public at the El Paso International Museum of Art on Montana Boulevard. This is the old museum. And specifically to your work, it seems like the way I see the difference from your husband is color, first of all, but also the idea that you kind of paint from a visual image, whereas your husband does quite a number of landscapes. So I would imagine there is, a look and a view that he will take in and bring to life. You're bringing things out from your mind. Not that neither of you do that, but it seems like this is the way you work.
I would say it's always the idea in your mind before you put it on the canvas.
Yes.
And that's why with Aleksander's work, the same thing happening. It's not 1 or 2 or 10 photo pictures, but it's first of all the idea what you want to do, and then you start to collect material which helping you to create it more precise. And with me, yes, I definitely play with it much more. And I think it's much more important, and that's why I often say that, if it just brings smile to your face, that's a wonderful thing. And especially right now, with all the idea of the COVID and fear and fragile world, it's so important for people to see something which brings some warmth and confidence and comfort. And what is very pleasant, so since yesterday night, we start already receiving different notes from people who come to see the show. And that's exactly what they're saying, that, I want to go back, but the main thing, yes, it gives me this warm feeling and that zone which I feel so comfortable that I want to go again and take it in. It's people of all different ages.
Yeah. I can describe something like that. If you have a house and you have 4 windows, let's say 1 window go to the main street and 3 go to your garden, because if you have opposite, you have troubles. If you have too much main street instead of to the calmness and understanding who you are. And what we provide these windows. And you can go to the museum if you doesn't have big, huge, amazing garden or something, but you can go to see in our exhibit and see our works. It will be for you like a garden and window to the garden. When you can find the calmness, you find the idea of like a world still will exist. Nothing happened. Everything what's going on is just only second in your life. Just you need to think about much bigger instead of just reacting what's going on around.
It's so well put, because and I didn't even realize that I thought this coming out, but first of all, with the landscapes, it is that the earth is still there and it's still beautiful in all of its color and all of its glory. And if I may, that is more your work. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, because it's this couple genres like figurative works, landscape, or still life, and still the whole genre have certain specific. For example, with landscape, you can paint portraits of the person without using the even features of the person through the landscape. You can show the human feelings like that. It's not the photograph of the place. It's how human reacted to this to the certain situation, to certain ambience what around him. This is important. It means like I try to put inside the landscape not, oh, this is beautiful, beautiful. What stay behind the word beautiful?
That is true. Okay, I do get this.
And then it's also something which exists forever. It's been there 1,000 years ago, like a wonderful view of Cristo Rey. And if we want to have some awful earthquake, we definitely still will have it 1,000 years later.
True.
Regardless what people want to do down there.
That is true.
So that's why it's more about really boundless world. It's really about something...
You forgot the word?
Yeah,
what kind of word
the
you
word.
say?
Like it's infinity or whatever. It exists
Timeless.
forever. Yes.
Timeless.
And it's now, and it being this way, and it's going to be this way.
Could you
and
imagine?
it also has this sense of really emotion. And if you connect to this emotion, it become very personal, and it become almost like part of you.
Well, and a lot of that I think is in the light that I see in both of your paintings. You do the light on the snow so well. It's just like
sliding light.
Yes, the sliding light and the way the sun reflects. And obviously, I know the filmmakers talk about the golden hour.
Yeah.
That time where the light shines just right.
Yeah.
You bring that to life.
Thank you. This is a
it's
big
really
compliment
wonderful.
for you. Thank you. I'd love to accept that. Tell me more. Yes, it's a good one. Yes, definitely. We work with light, like a photographer, like a cinematographist. We work with light, but again, you're choosing, and if it's cinematographer, photographer try to have what exists in reality of life. I can just move it, everything. I can made it a little bit different, to find some nuances. But it's landscape. It's pretty big. Thanks God you mentioned about the triptych. What I did, especially for the show, it's like a three big view of El Paso. Main piece, what we're talking about, winter piece. It's like a west side with snow. Yes, we not often have a snow in El Paso, but everybody bored to see the same day. But I try to look a little bit different, like the same subject, but differently, like with snow. Like I see the cactuses with snow. Come on, it's so interesting.
Yes.
Especially in the time of sunset where white reflected everything. Or on the right side of the triptych, it will be part of the upper valley after the rain. How many times you can see the pools of water in puddle? How it's called? Pools of water in the street all around, with reflective the house, or see like above everything, just big huge cloud, Mount Crusty Ray.
Yes.
Or how often you go to the current place and see the full moon rising above the current place with sky, like that stuff. Like you see it's our daughters usually give a titles to the painting, but our oldest daughter find this very nice title. It's called the Midnight Sun.
Midnight.
It's very good, very poetic. It's like it describes everything what you see.
Yes.
It means you try to see in reality a little bit more than reality, and see what's staying behind reality. Because to see the reality, you have everyone have a photo camera. Everyone can do whatever they want to do. But artists, the people who see something behind the canvas, paint something behind the canvas.
And they could build it up.
Yes.
Depends on their view.
Yeah.
And their desire, what they want to do, and their taste, of course.
Speaking with Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets.
Man, you're doing so well. At the end of the show, we'll fluent Russian, speaking fluent Russian.
I don't know about that, but speaking with them as they exhibit their art, how many pieces? 95.
Yes.
90?
We really didn't count, but it's around 95.
It's around 95 pieces at the El Paso International Museum of Art on Montana Boulevard. It takes up 2 whole exhibition areas, and it is absolutely stunning work. Landscapes, portraits, everything in there. And as I was speaking about your work, Lyuba, in terms of the portraits and the happiness, that's the thing I got from a lot of your work. It was bacchanalia, party time, lots of people running around and enjoying their wine and song and sunlight.
That's right. It was even amazing for me. So let's say, again, coming back to this piece about New York Central Park.
Yeah.
And I did it about maybe 8 years ago. Again, it was a collection of different images and stories and what I saw over there and what has really impressed me. And then I felt, well, maybe I need to put the title Central Park in the Past, because I had this little bitter feeling that, people probably not walking like this right now, or they forgot how to smile.
You're probably right. I imagine there are a lot of, especially in larger cities, people packed on top of each other. Many stresses, and obviously COVID has been the biggest one over the last year and a half.
And it's interesting, I also could say about a few other paintings, that they start to have a different meaning since they were painted. So, for example, there is a piece which called Spring in the Studio, and I paint the flowers which were blooming in the studio, which was wonderful. But I put my daughter, and in that time, really the phones just came up. So she's sitting on the floor there and playing with her phone. And in that time, it was kind of wonder. Now everybody doing it, but it gives me a wonderful feeling that it seems like, she's kind of caged right there. She's sitting in the room inside. It's kind of dark, and she's looking at her phone, and there's some blossoming spring right next to her.
So it all comes,
it all comes with a different meaning at our time.
Certainly, and as I think when people go to see the pieces, they're going to be struck not only by the beauty and the difference, but yes, I mean, you talk about being able to kind of come out, as we are all coming back out now, coming back to life. And
it's our hope.
Yes, and it's the perfect time for something like this. The perfect time to go see something like this. You will be fed when you go, and I'm not just talking about the pierogies that they had when I went to the pre-show on Friday night. I don't. That's not always going to be there for people, but that was wonderful. But
thank you.
It is really, if you have the time to go and see, you should. And you guys call El Paso home. I think that's the part that a lot of people don't. First of all, if they know your art hangs in Austin and Charleston and the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., and Carmel in California, why are you still here? I imagine you probably get that question from time to time.
I think lots of people who came here from different parts of the world, they're even surprised that they're still here after 30 years. And everybody asks themselves this question. But it's somehow like love. It really doesn't have explanation. And if we start to put explanation, we might get in trouble. So that's why it's really the place, and we don't like to change things. So I could tell you even that some of the galleries, our oldest galleries, we've been with them for 20 years, or even a little more than 20 years, and we're probably only artists who are still showing there and still succeeding in those galleries. Wow. And some of them we are not showing because they closed. They are not working anymore. So the people whom we met at first year of our life in America, we still see them. We still communicate with them. We're still friends with them. So I think it's our style. It's very important for us to keep it because it gives you some base, some solid structure and meaning in your life, and something what you could really enjoy without rushing and making yourself tired for no reason.
And pretend to be an artist instead of to be an artist.
Right? Okay. They're like moving somewhere else because that's where the artists go. I see.
And here, just things I think it's the best things. You go to the grocery store, which I go not often, but sometime when I go and someone just come and asking, Sasha, how's your daughters doing? Come on, what do you wish more than that?
Yes. What could be better?
Yes,
absolutely. And El Paso's definitely that kind of city.
It's a big city with nice, cozy people, nice, cozy. At the same time, it's very cozy place. Like the people whom you like it, whom you love.
Yeah, it still feels like
I couldn't
family.
wish anymore.
Yeah.
And we were accepted the way we are when we came, and it was incredibly important for us. And maybe that's why also our English is still where it is, because people understand us the way we speak. They don't make a strange face and say, what did you say? Because then you start polishing your language and have more pressure on yourself.
Like trying to pronounce Titovets.
Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine the way we are, and people love us the way we are. And we're trying to give back as much as we can, as much as we understand what could be meaningful.
But one major thing what we're trying to give this kind of message to people in El Paso. Everything can happen in El Paso. It means all your wishes, all your dreams could be happened here in El Paso. You don't need to fly over another state or another place and say, oh, they could be better. You can do that here, especially with your own home, with your people whom you know. You can open your business. You can do whatever you want to do. You can find even audience if you will work hard. You can find audience who will follow you. You need to already thinking about not like I need to go because I live in El Paso and somewhere better. No, you can make this El Paso your home, and you could be successful starting from El Paso, and after that you could be successful to in other cities.
I would imagine, though, that is both of you coming. Are you both from St. Petersburg?
But we live in but I was born in Siberia, but we've been together in St. Since age 9. I live in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Till age 32.
And what, obviously, moving from there to here, huge differences, obviously, in culture and in country and in language and in everything, but also in art, I would imagine. Just in terms of, not necessarily from approach, but the colors you see, the way that you perceive things, is that different from there to here? Or is it very much the same?
No, I think it's extremely important it was that we were open to anything, and we made the decision. So that's why really it was important that it's different. So it makes us to explore it, to learn that, to understand it. And this desire help us to go on and create something more and new and different and experiment. And it's really because we didn't try to find something what we already knew. Sure,
I get this.
But let's say, I tell you a good story about that. We paint everything what we know. It means we find here in El Paso in the desert subject which we know, which related to us.
Or in New Mexico.
Or New Mexico, Colorado. Say in the United States, but your question was about El Paso. But
sure, this area of the country,
yes,
the Southwest.
Country of Southwest, yes. It was very interesting. In the second year, someone tell me just some competition go around the country. You need to paint any national monument on national park. And I decided to go closest White Sands. I go to White Sands. I did this piece. It's like if you know that, but it's like a dunes. It's white dunes. It's very lovely kind of almost musical.
Almost
line.
Looks like a snow.
Yes.
First of all, it's look like a snow, definitely, because it's white gypsum. But for composition purpose, if you want to make even more melodically, you need to make a kind of sharp vertical line. And I just decided, okay, make a cactuses. But I make the cactuses which live only in Arizona.
Oh.
It means it was a good kind of to me lesson. Paint something which you know in which you related.
Yes. Okay, so you painted saguaro cactuses.
Yes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's not here.
It's very important. What, for example,
Yes.
if you see our works about Southwest, like a whole snow came from south of South New Mexico. Everyone just we had a show in Denver, and a person asked him, "Oh, you're born in Siberia? It means like this kind of scenery, Siberian scenery." And I say, "No, it's like it's South New Mexico." And the person was so disappointed to say, "How come?" I say, "But I was born in Siberia. It snow looks like."
So they still have Siberian accent.
Yes, like that. We tried, but it's we live in almost 30 years. So definitely, with beauty, it's different beauty what we used to, but it's growing in us. You see already nuances. It's not so flashy, like you go to another part of the country. It's very delicate, but it's beautiful. It's extremely harmonized, extremely tiny, small kind of nuances of the harmony. It's not very flashy. How everyone try to just put like someone have barrel of orange or red or yellow colors. It's much more sophisticated and complicated colors. And when you start to understand that nuances, this is harmony. Just it's just so good.
Well, there's nothing to me like, and obviously you talk about oranges and things. The desert sunset it hits here so different than any other place on Earth.
But
to me.
And the scale of it.
Yes,
because
right,
you
because of the
really
mountains.
don't see. Yes, that's in the other places.
When you paint the sunset, you don't paint this as a red, orange. Of course, physically you do that, but you mostly paint this mystery. From light goes down, and do you know what's happened after?
Yes.
If you paint sunset like it's so bright and yellow, red, and something, this is a good painting for I don't know, company who sell the paint, industrial paint. But if you paint the feeling, what you feel in the time of sunset, call the fine art.
I get this. Yeah, absolutely. It's not. I'm trying to think of all the paint companies now. I can't think of all the paint companies, but no.
We don't go for
Valspar. We're not talking Valspar for your house.
When you will say Montana Avenue. It's not Boulevard, so people won't be confused. The street is Montana Avenue.
Montana Avenue. Okay. Okay, great. Hey, we've both lived here the same amount of time. I should know this. Thank you for correcting me. Quite so. And again, it is the International Museum of Art on Montana Avenue. It's in Central El Paso. It is not the new Museum of Art that is, of course, downtown off Santa Fe Street. As we continue to speak with Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets. I'm getting there.
Man,
I'm getting there.
You're doing so
Thank you so Thank you so much. And I want to ask about your education. It was I don't know the name of the institute. What was the name of the institute in St. Petersburg?
This is a state university in St. Petersburg by the Herzen.
Okay. And but you both studied in the same place.
Just different time.
Okay.
I studied a couple of years earlier.
Okay.
But a certain time we studied together. Yes.
And obviously, St. Petersburg, world renowned for its art, and I think that even in the times when it was Leningrad, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
This was it was a place that people thought of when they thought of Russian literature, Russian art. Ballet, music, all of these things.
Ballet.
Yeah, that is.
Dostoevsky, Pushkin, Gogol, Tchaikovsky, Rachmanin, Rachmanin Moscow, Borodin, Scriabin, whatever. You just name it, whole things. It was a thing.
And it was all there.
It was really the center. Yes.
And I mean, being in a place like that. Yeah, come close. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Lyuba's getting us both today, Aleksander.
Became so
Come
comfortable.
close to the microphone.
Yeah, I became so comfortable.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's actually good. I wish we had microphones that could, maybe like a lapel mic or something. But studying there, I would imagine, first of all, at the time you were there, was very competitive to be there, correct?
Yes.
That's right. But I would say it was competitive for our parents. And for us, we already were there. So that was a great thing. We don't need to have that pressure, but we could really enjoy all of this harmony and balance and styles. So it's all around you. It's really teaching you without even saying a word.
Just you being in St. Petersburg,
Yes.
okay.
In that city.
And another, we're product of the classical Russian school of painting. What means classical Russian school of painting? If it's say briefly, this is a academical base with French invention of the color. It means it's not completely academical, but it's not impressionistic. It's like good merge of two things, and from that you created Russian school of the painting, and we're product of that. We're not like invented. We're just one of the Russian artists who was before and will be after us.
Yeah.
We're just only one of the part of the chain.
But on the other hand, we could definitely say what happened with the perestroika and the changes in the education in general. We were truly the last generation of Russian Soviet people who got this education, where the balance between the logic, which will be the drawing and composition and values, combined with emotion, which will be the color and how you apply them. Because after that, really the whole system was changing and become more kind of a universal, which exists around the world. And so the art started to come out pretty much like everywhere else.
Really? Okay. Well, this is wonderful, though. And you're both here in El Paso. I think
right.
it is.
We
it is,
still couldn't believe it.
right. You're both here in El Paso. That's amazing. And again, their art hangs everywhere from the Smithsonian to Charleston, South Carolina to Carmel, California, and right now at the El Paso Museum of Art, International Museum of Art on Montana Avenue. And how long will it be there?
It'll be till 28th of September, but you need to remember that museum is closed on Monday and Tuesdays.
Okay.
So truly from now, it's 2 weeks, which through this time you could definitely enjoy it.
So 2 more weeks, and Monday and Tuesday closed. So Wednesday through Sunday, you can go to the El Paso International Museum of Art on Montana Avenue and check out the Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets. Yeah. You keep complimenting me on it. I know I'm just like, okay, I'm all over the place.
Because I try to push you asking more and more.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And let me ask about what the future holds. First of all, about these pieces specifically, where will they go after you're done with the show, and what's next for you?
We have a big show at the East Coast. It will be in November in Charleston, South Carolina, because it's interesting, not only all anniversaries. It'll be 20 years of this gallery, and we were first artist out of Charleston.
Wow.
Who display the work in Charleston. And I don't want to pull the blanket on our side, but to say like we invented this. No, not at all. But we were part of this revival of the art destination in Charleston.
Charleston's a very well thought of city now.
Yes, absolutely.
I see what you're saying.
But we were right at the beginning of it, and we saw how this was happening. And really, we met the owner of the gallery. This lady was just going to open her gallery, and she saw our work in Carmel, California. And then we made the agreement, we shook the hands, and the next year, in 2001,
it's just right after 9/11. Months after 9/11.
Oh my
we
goodness.
had the opening.
Wow.
And it was so successful that not just we had the show every year since then, we also could see how much more galleries and artists came to Charleston, and then within next 5-6 years it became an art destination.
That is tremendous.
Which was amazing.
It's a beautiful place, amazing place with kind of southern charm, with cobblestone street, with small
With
tiny
history.
house, history.
A lot of history.
Nice beaches. Of course, in the summer it's I don't know what to
But
describe.
it's a wonderful combination
Yeah.
really of history and nature.
Absolutely, and well, you're close enough to the sea that
Yes, it's just
it's okay. You get a little breeze, you're okay.
And the
Right.
beaches is fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yes. Now I had an opportunity to. We traveled into Charleston and went up to went up the beach to Myrtle Beach, but to see Charleston is
north.
Yeah, to go over the bridges and see that, it's very beautiful. Very beautiful.
We love it.
Well, this is tremendous. And again, it goes for the next couple of weeks at the El Paso International Museum of Art on Montana Avenue. Is there admission price to get into the museum?
No, the great thing, you could come and enjoy it. And then on the other hand, if something speaks to you, it could be yours.
Ah, that's true. That's right. The price tags are right there on the sides of the works of art.
And the right lower part.
And the right lower part, yes. So you're right. Yeah, don't be confused. Don't look to your left.
Yes,
look to the bottom right, and that's where you'll see it.
Full information.
Yes, the whole thing is there, and we look forward to seeing plenty more. And so wonderful to have you both in El Paso. And El Paso can go and see the world-renowned Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets. I'm only going to try it once this last couple of times.
And
yes,
I want to say thank you for this interview. We love it, how you interviewed us, and ask us good questions, and just wish you
and
good
we're
luck
very
too.
glad to meet you after all this almost 30 years.
Yeah, right. We've both been here for 30 years.
Man, maybe we'll go to different restaurants.
I think so. I don't know. You guys like
And
Blake's
maybe
Lotta Burger?
we're talking more about sport, yes.
Yes, something like that. But I appreciate your time very much. And if you have the opportunity to go over the next couple of weeks, you really should. And just walk in, take a look, see the paintings, and obviously, if you want that, well, then it could definitely be yours. And we look forward to hearing and seeing plenty more of both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Duke,
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you. You was great.
Our deep gratitude again to Aleksander and Lyuba Titovets. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you next week. I'm Duke Keith, and this is El Paso Townsquare. So long, everybody.